Sri Krishna, Sri Guru Vishnu, Gururdevo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Welcome to the Corona Festival Extended. Our theme is the same, practice of knowledge. All the problems are because we know so many things, but we practice not. And it is easier for us to understand something. We can teach others also and create an illusion of wisdom. However, if this knowledge is not experienced by us, it remains only as erudition and scholarship, and it doesn't help neither the one who is speaking, like I am speaking, and the one who is listening. I am not talking about you. You are all wise. Unless you want to practice, you won't listen. See? Binu satsanga na hoi jnana, Tulsidas says, highest spiritual practice is satsanga. Because in satsanga, what happens is only our wrong notions are corrected without creating new notions. If the wrong notions are replaced by new notions, then it is not satsanga. Then it is samsara. See? Like, first of all, I was a brahmachari. Then I became a grahastha. So the brahmachari notion was replaced by a grahastha notion. Then I became a vanaprastha, VRS. So grahastha notion was replaced by vanaprastha notion. And then I became a sannyasi. Then the vanaprastha notion is replaced by sannyasi. So we continue to live the notional life. See, practice of knowledge tells us we should not be the victim of notions. So, notions are removed without creating any notion. Then only the truth is revealed. And for that, we have to learn how to practice this knowledge. So when we practice knowledge, these three principles should be very clearly understood. Number one, Shruti. Shruti is scriptures. And by scriptures, we are very clear. Upanishad, Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata, only. And the writings of the great masters. See, there are 5 sources of knowledge. One is Shruti, Upanishad, Veda. And it is apaurushaya. It is the ultimate authority in knowledge. Then comes Smriti Grantha. Smriti Grantha are those who are given to humanity so that they can lead a life of self-discipline. And here, in this self-disciplined life, importance is given to the totality, and then only the samaj, the society can be maintained healthy. See? In the today's world, it is the other way around. Individual freedom is more important than the safety of the totality. See, friends, it's all perversion. So our Smriti Granthas like Manusmriti, Apastamba Smriti, Harita Smriti, there are 18 of them. Then the third authority, and Bhagavad Gita is also one of the Smriti Grantha accepted. Then comes the next is the Puranas. There are 18 of them, 18 Puranas. Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. For each one of them, half a dozen. So Brahma is Puranas are six, Vishnu Bhagwan six, and Shivji six. So 18 Puranas. And also there are branches among them. So first we have see Shruti, then Smriti, then Purana, then the fourth is Itihasa. Itihasa means iti ha asa. Thus it was. So it is not imagination. Many people have this funny notion that, oh, all the stories which are told in the Puranas and all the things which are told in Mahabharata, Ramayana, it is all imagination. Who has seen that? See? You have not seen your parents also. Then you still accept them as your parents? See, friends, this kind of stupid logic is not acceptable if you really want to walk spiritual path. So itihasa, and these two itihasas, Mahabharata and Ramayana, it is attributed to Bhagwan Vedavyasa and Bhagwan Valmiki Maharshi. And they were not the cheap type of reporters like today. They can be purchased like the prostitutes. See? I'm using very strong words because we have to understand the importance of the source of knowledge. So if we take the source of knowledge as Ramayana or Mahabharata, then it will lead us to something higher. But if we take the source of knowledge as the WhatsApp and the useless YouTube channels or the various kinds of paid journalists, then we are not doing justice to our life. See, friends, itihas. Because in both the itihasas, Ramayana and Mahabharata, nothing is hidden. Things are told as they happened. See, friends, it is not only whatever is convenient to our corruption that is accepted and what is not convenient that is condemned. No. Whatever has happened was completely and as it is explained. See, friends, itihas. 4 of them. Now the fifth is they are called as Prakarana Granthas, books, writings of the great masters, which are given to the humanity so that if they are not able to study and understand such a huge literature, they are introduced to the Shruti, Smriti, Purana, etc. Therefore, these literature of the saints and sages, which are saints and sages, those who have given this knowledge without an expectation of earning money out of it. See, friends, when books are published so that we can make a profit out of it, and by cheating the people, telling all lies, that is not the spiritual literature. See? When our Tulsidaji Maharaj wrote this Ramcharitmanas, he did not have that idea in his head that he is going to make a lot of money out of his writing and therefore all rights are reserved in the name of Tulsidaji. No. Then why did he write? Swanta Sukhaya Tulasi Raghunatha Gatha. See, he has not even written that for the propagation of Ramayana. I said, no. Swanta Sukhaya. Therefore, if you take other examples, take the examples of Bhagavan Shankaracharya. So many things he has left for us without any expectation in return. Or you take any saint from all over our country, whether it is Tamil Nadu or Kerala or Andhra or Karnataka or Maharashtra or Gujarat or Assam, Bengal. I'm telling the earlier Bengal, not today's one. See, all those great masters, they have left a huge literature for us to study and grow wise. Among so many of them, there was one, Vidyaranya Swami. And Vidyaranya Swami has composed So many compositions, and the best among them, known to us, is Panchadashi. Panchadashi is a text which has got 15 chapters, therefore Panchadashi. See, like Shatpadi, Ashtadhyayi. So, number of chapters becomes the name of the book, Panchadashi. In this Panchadashi, what is written is, in short, I'll tell you that the truth is indicated in our scriptures as Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Brahma, the absolute reality, is Satyam Jnanam Anantam. Now, what is the meaning of Satyam? What is the meaning of Jnanam? What is the meaning of Anantam? That Brahman, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, what does it mean? So, to explain these three words, Vidyananda Swami has written, starting from first to fifth chapter, first 5 chapters, on Tattva Chintan. What do you mean by Sat? Satyam Jnanam Anantam. What do we mean by Sat or Tat? That is the first topic dealt with exhaustively in the first 5 chapters. Then Satyam Jnanam or Satchit. What is the meaning of Chit or Jnanam? That is indicated in the next 5 chapters, starting from 6th up to 10th. And here the teacher has given Chitradeep Prakaran, then Trapti Deep Prakaran, then Kutastha Deep Prakaran, see, Dhyana Deep and Natak Deep. These are the 5 chapters where the teacher has given how to practice this consciousness or the knowledge aspect. And then from 11th up to the 15th chapter, last 5 chapters, the great master has dealt with Ananda Mimamsa. Mimamsa means understanding and discovery. See, Chikitsa, knowing what it is. Ananda Mimamsa. We simply say happiness, happiness, happiness. But the depth of this understanding is necessary. Then we will understand whether we are really experiencing the ultimate bliss or we are gathering blisters while getting bliss in our life. And for that purpose, in this second Corona Festival Extended, we will be studying the 11th chapter of Panchadashi, and those who are on the broadcast list, they must have been sent the Sanskrit verses of this wonderful text. The book is available, but it is only after the Corona Festival. Now, we don't have any way to reach it to you. Therefore, we are going all digital. One thing I have learned from this many days, it is not necessary to go out of the house, not even for satsanga. So let us see what Lord wants. I may continue to conduct satsanga in this manner and forget about running here and there. Let us see what is His will. This was very deeply going inside, that running is enough. Now we should sit in one place, eat and sleep. So God has given me that opportunity. And I knew about it. Okay, Maharaj. So we enter the 11th chapter of Panchadashi, and the name is Brahmanande Yogananda. So this Brahmananda is to be understood correctly. And among that, what are the different types of Ananda, etc.? We'll study it one by one. See? Now, let us get the introduction to this chapter. Brahmanandam pravakshami jnate tasmin sheshataha aihika amushvika anartha vratam hitva sukhayate. Pravakshami, I shall tell you exhaustively in detail, see, and tell you in such a manner that you will have to understand. You will have to catch the point. Pravakshami, prakarshena vakshami. See? Vakshami, this dhatu is made out of two roots. Vacha and also vaha. Vacha means I shall tell you, and vaha means I will see that you do understand. See how beautiful it is. Pra means prakarshena. With all at my command, I shall tell you. What will tell us? Brahmanandam pravakshami. We shall tell you Brahmanandam. See, Brahma and Ananda. Are we talking about two things? Like the red flower. So there are three things involved. One is red, second is flower, and third is the object flower. So flower is the name and the object is the flower. So all these three things, are they unique? No. Red could be anything. See? And flower could be anything. See? Therefore, what is Brahmanandam? I shall tell you. Then, Brahma and Ananda, are they separate or they are one? If they are one, why they are referred as Brahma and Ananda? Or is Brahmananda only one thing? We'll tell you, have patience. Then, Jnate tasmin asheshata. And when you will able to recognize the experiences asheshata without any doubt. See? No doubt about anything. Knowledge we doubt is a burden and a load of knowledge. So, Jnate tasmin asheshataha, when you will come to know Brahmananda, which we are going to tell you exhaustively, completely, without any doubts, then aihika, amushmika, anartha vratam hitva. Then you will be completely getting rid of all the hordes of miseries in this world as well as in the other world. In this world, what are the miseries? We don't need any explanation. We are expert in that. See? And what are the miseries in the other world? Oh, whether I'll go to heaven or not, whether I'll go to hell, and if I go to hell, can I have some concession? Can there be reservation that only the bad people can go to the heaven and crooks have to go to the hell? See, what is that? Please tell me. Therefore, Aihika and Amushmika. There are two types of miseries we suffer in life. Miseries of this world and miseries of the other world. And what are the miseries of the other world? We are told you will go to hell or heaven. When you go to heaven, hell, you will suffer. When you go to heaven, you will have the fear after this is over. Kshine punne marte lokam vishanti. After this is over, I will have to again go back to this India. I don't know what I should do. Thus, aihika, amushmika, anartha vratam hitva, all these worries of this life and the life hereafter, sukhayate, you shall attain perfect, blissful, peaceful experience. Therefore, we are going to tell you Brahmananda. You know, Brahmananda, why this is told right in the beginning in such an exhaustive way? Because unless we have some value for something, we will not put efforts. We like things on two counts. Certain things which we like because of the qualities associated with that. Someone is beautiful, somebody is intelligent, somebody is a very good singer, somebody is a very good cook. On the basis of this, boy and girl, they like each other. This is based on gunas, gauni. Narad Bhakti Sutra says, Bhakti Tridha Gauni. So, based on the gunas. But what are the gunas? They are subject to modification. So, if somebody marries a girl because she has got very good voice and something happens and her voice becomes totally zero, and when she talks, it looks like a dog is barking, then all the love for that girl will disappear. If I like some girl because she is beautiful and something happens and her beauty disappears, then all love gone. So one kind of love is based on the qualities. And the second kind of love is based on recognition of the value for something. Like we have value for money. Now, if let us take our note, 2000 rupees note. Suppose if somehow slips from our pocket and falls in the gutter, will we just leave it like that? We look around, nobody is looking. We'll take some kind of hanky, put it there, lift it, and get it properly washed, dry it, put istri on that, and then give it to some shopkeeper. Why? Because we have value for that 2000 rupees note. See. Similarly, we value our parents because we know their greatness. See? Therefore, first of all, we have to recognize the value for something, then only our efforts will be wholehearted. Otherwise, our efforts will be not wholeheartedly. They'll be, sometime when I get time, I do go to temple. No, sometime if I get time, then I chant Lord's name. Because we have no value. Therefore, Brahmanandam pravakshami jnate amasmin asheshataha aihika amushvika anartha vratam hitva sukhayate. So why should we study Brahmananda? Because then you will be liberated from the miseries of this world and other world. Is not only negative, but sukhayate. You shall attain blissful being. Now in every Vedantic text, it is called as Anubandha Chatushtaya. Anubandha Chatushtaya means four things. First of all, who is the adhikari? Who is a qualified student to whom this text is addressed? It is not for Tom, Dick and Harry. Be very attentive. If there are huge crowds, that doesn't mean that they are all dedicated to that. It is only you get, 2,500 musicians and bring them together. They play music and all that. Most wonderful. It has nothing to do with spirituality. See, friends, if there are huge crowds going there and just waiting something to happen, no. Here we have to study very clearly, and such people who do not want anything in this world. Adhikari. So for whom this is addressed? Then what is the subject matter? So in this text, who is the adhikari, who is the person to whom this is addressed? This example I gave a number of times. There are few places where people gather. First is the Bollywood entertainment, free entertainment programs, huge crowds. Then these political parties gatherings, another useless, dirty crowds. Then the third is hospitals. In the first two places, at least you are invited. In the hospital, nobody is invited, and yet we go. Then fourth place is the temple. Temples also we are not invited, yet we go. What for? We go for the Bollywood parties or political parties gatherings for bhog. See, I never knew this because I am not in any political party. I was in Jaipur and there was a very big crowd in the main square. So when I was going, I asked my friend, I said, hey, what is the crowd? Here, he says, Swami, political meetings are happening. Yes. So these are the people who are put into the buses and taken, and then they have bargain. So if the political party gives them, okay, you take 50 rupees and sit inside the bus. They said, no, forget about it. That party is giving me 100 rupees. Who will come with you? So that becomes only a nice investment. You go by their vehicle and get that much amount and sit there and without knowing who is talking what, Jindabad, Murdabad, continue. See, third class kind of gatherings. Then the second one, the hospitals. What for we go to hospital? Because we are rogi. See, in case of the Bollywood and political parties, we are bhogi. We want to enjoy. In case of hospitals, we are rogi. See. There is the third place. People gather in the gyms. Now, who goes to the gym? Those who are healthy and those who wanted to maintain their health. See, they are healthy. Unhealthy people are not admitted in the gym. They should go to the hospitals. See. So, maximum crowd in the first category, bhogi. Second crowd among the rogis. The third crowd is for the healthy people who go to the gym. Our practice of knowledge in this Corona festival extended and earlier is of that kind. It cannot attract everybody. See, it cannot. Because we have to withdraw to a great extent from this world has always been like this. See? And when we imagine, oh, what a terrible time has come. Are Baba, this was the time, every time it has happened. See? Now we see all the things which are happening terrible way. Just imagine what must have been the situation and condition in Germany and Austria when Hitler Ji Maharaj was killing millions in the suffocation chambers. That time also has passed. So that was the thing required for those people during that time. In the same manner, what is happening today is another event. See, friends, if you see the NASA and other videos, there they tell, oh, our Earth is something like 300 and trillion years old. It is difficult for us to conceive more than 100. If somebody is told, you know, this Mahatma, he is 1400 years old. 1400 years. And this earth is something like 500 trillion years. Now, in comparison to 500 trillion years, our life, hardly 100 years. And in that 100 years life, hardly maybe few weeks or few months that we have to remain inside and we feel, oh God, what is going to happen? One day, a young boy, a child rather, asked me this question, Swamiji, why there was so much of torture in the life of Bhagwan Ram? He has to go in the forest and then Ravana did all that. When his avatar of God, why it happened to him? I said, look here, all great people are those who have to suffer in this world. If you are not suffering, you are not a great person. The stones which are lying unclaimed in the mountains, they remain as stone. But one of them is selected by somebody, then chiseled, hammered, shaped, unwanted chips are removed, and out of that, a beautiful vigraha comes out. And then that vigraha becomes an altar of reverence and worship for millions. But when he was being chiseled, that time what that stone must be thinking, I am so unfortunate, see other stones are comfortable, nothing is happening to them. Friends, this Corona festival is a greatest opportunity for all of us. Don't take it in a negative way. We have to just learn about our own mind, how our mind is. We feel we have studied, we feel we are devoted to the Lord, see? And yet we are leading our life under tremendous tension and fear. No. See? To understand this, take this relative existence. For the, let us take mosquitoes. Mosquitoes' life is in our calculation, not even a day or two. See? But they live 100 years in their time scale. Rats, their life is hardly for any period, but they live for 100 years on their time scale. See, friends, when the rhinoceros and all those finish, what of you and me? Therefore, who is Adhikari? He is at peace and has full, complete 100% surrender to the divine will. So, two things. One, he is not having any problems of this world as a serious issue. And second, he is a real devotee. And who is a devotee? His desire is not contrary to the divine will. Such a person alone can study, learn. But if this is not there, we are spending time only in upasana. Go from this temple to that temple, then this puja to that puja. Do all that, but that is not all. It is just a jadu lagao. See, my friends, Adhikari, this is the one who is now committed to something higher in life. And what is something higher in life? Be attentive. Not only this worldly is not accepted as ultimate, but also the notion that I am a soul and I will be born again and again, even that also is gone. To stabilize in this knowledge and wisdom, we have to practice knowledge. And therefore, he is Adhikari, he who doesn't want anything further. Then, what is the subject matter? Subject matter, Brahmananda. So, it is not a misery. See? If you don't do this, you will go to hell. If you do this thing, even then you will go to hell. No. Brahmanandam. It is not sought after, but it is discovered. Then, what is the relationship? See, Adhikari, Vishaya, then Sambandha and Prayojan. These are the four Anubandha Chatushtaya. So, Adhikari we have seen, subject matter Brahmananda. And what is the relationship? Relationship is the Brahmananda about what we are talking is nothing other than you, my dear. See, it is a relationless relationship. What is the relationship between the wave and the ocean? See? Can the wave remain independent apart from the ocean? No. So it is not separate. So if it is not separate, how can you call it by two names? Then ocean alone is expressing as the wave, and therefore when wave is expressed, nothing is born. When the wave dies, nothing is dead. Exactly the same way. The relationship between Brahmananda and our being, they are not two. It is a relationless relationship. What is the relationship between me and my reflection in the mirror? He is my brother, he is my father, he is my mother, he is my son. Who is he? Oh yeah, he is nothing. But without me, he can't exist. So dedicated to me. Therefore, the relationship in this inquiry about the truth, in the practice of knowledge, is relationless relationship. See, if you take the path of upasana devotion, there, Mai Sevaka Sachara Rupa Swami Bhagavanta. So I am a servant and everybody is God and I relationship. Then, in case of Karma Kanda, I am Yajman, I am the doer, and therefore you must have seen in this Karma Kanda, the Panditji comes and he gives you some sankalpa. See, about this sankalpa, I always remember one thing. It happened in USA many years before. Some village in USA, and hardly there were a dozen or so families, and among them 2 or 3 families were Indian families, Hindu families. And they invited some other people from neighbor and also other villages. So it was a gathering of about 30 people also. I was also invited. And the Panditji was there. And the Panditji was a Sindhi from Mumbai. He has never studied any puja or karma kanda, nothing. But Andhome Kana Raja, he was the only one there who knows the mantras. And when I was watching that, I was enjoying. Brahmananda was that. And he will give, first of all, when this sankalpa is given, some little rice is put in the hand or water or flour, and then the sankalpa is said. Unless the sankalpa is said, it cannot be a karma. Because you have to invoke the doership. So first of all, they give some water to wash the hands, and then you have to take Keshava and Ma, Narayana and Ma, Govinda and Ma, like that. But hardly any people know that. So when this poor Panditji, he gave some rice to that Yajman so that he will tell Sankalpa. And Yatha Raja Tatha Praja. When the rice was given for Sankalpa, that Yajman ate that rice. Can you imagine? And I was observing and enjoying. So he said, no, don't eat everything. This is not prasad. Then the Panditji, please tell us, we don't do anything. See, this is, you have to take and cover it with your hand, and then I will say something, and that means now you are ready to do the yagya, okay? So now close your eyes and I will say the mantra. And the genius of a Sindhi, you know what was the mantra? Different tunes. Words were the same. And words were Sukha Karta, Dukha Harta, Varta, Vignaji, Krupa Jayashi. Are? Sukha Karta, Dukha Harta, Varta, Vignaji. Only that Ganapati Arti, 2-3 lines he knew. But with that, he conducted the whole of the Satyanarayana Puja and everything. So after everything was over, he said, Swamiji, how it was? I said, Panditji, you are a genius. See? At least he did something. So, when we are doing karma, first of all, we have to invoke the Kartrutva Abhiman. I am the doer. When we are following Upasana, I am Dasosya, Dasosya, Dasoham. They have got a very big list. But when you come to practice of knowledge in Vedanta, you end up in relationless relationship. We don't invoke relationship. This is what Arjuna was crying in the 11th chapter. Hey Krishna, hey Yadava, hey Sakheti. Oh Lord, I have addressed you in so different ways, which was wrong. But Bhagavan didn't bother. He said, okay, never mind. Therefore, what is the relationship? We are the divine. There is no relational existence. It is non-relational experience. All our experiences in this waking world, they are relational experiences. I am mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, etc. in relation to somebody. I am an officer, subordinate, driver, passenger, watchman, come wali bhai, in relation. But this practice of knowledge leads us to relationless relationship. Meaning, the world will appear, and yet the world is not other than me. Remember the other day when I was telling you this Mrutyunjay Mahamantra? This is the secret in that mantra. And that experience is the Jivan Mukti. A Jivan Mukta Purush is abiding in the Absolute. Yet, he is not disconnected from the relative. He is Jivan Mukta. Like the cucumber. The creeper and the cucumber, after the fruit ripens, it doesn't detach itself from the creeper and fall down. It remains united. Exactly the same way. Urvarukamiyo bandhanat mrityor mukshiyamamrita. See? And when it is possible, Trambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushtivardhanam. So we hold on to this Brahmananda, and abiding in this Brahmananda, we play the game of life. And what is the play a game of life? Sukha dukkhe same krutva labha labho jaya jayo. We will be going through the experience of victory and defeat, gain and loss, and joy and sorrows, yet we will remain ever established in the Absolute. That is the relationship between the sought and the seeker. Therefore, the adhikari, vishaya, then sambandha relationship, and fourth one is the purpose. What is the prayojan? See? Without any purpose, nothing can be done. What is the purpose? So the purpose is told two ways. That ahika, amushvika, anartha vratam hitva, a negative aspect. All the miseries of your life will be removed of this world as well as the other world. And it is not only negative, but the sukhayate. Or you will be able to establish yourself in this Brahmananda. So this is how the first verse of this beautiful text gives us an idea about what we are going to study in this one, and what we are going to get out of it, and who is a qualified student, and why should we study? Because it is about our own being. In other words, when we look at the objects of the world, we look at the objects of the world objectively. But when we look at the mirror, we don't look at the mirror, we look in the mirror. And in the mirror, we don't look at the reflection, but we look at ourselves. Exactly the same way. Scriptures are studied in this manner. Scriptures are not studied in any other way. It is not making notes and remembering the notes and giving a lecture and writing in a bracket joke number 22. No. This is so important. One example I'll give you what exactly is meant by this statement. When somebody has to speak on the childhood of Swami Vivekananda, what will he do? He'll go to Google Ananda and cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste. He'll make a lecture out of it. And then he will think that, okay, this much material is enough for my 7 minutes talk. And with that he goes, very well read 3, 4, 5 times. But it so happens his talk is over in 2 minutes. Oh God, now what should I talk? So the organizer said, come on, continue. You got 5 minutes more. No, but this is all I know about him. This is the only thing I prepared. Okay, you talk about yourself. Now when this man starts talking about his childhood, do you think he has to prepare? That is his experience. See, friends. Therefore, when we are studying, we should be, again my Maha Mantra, we should be wherever I am, whenever I am, whatever I am, I should be 100%. The meaning of Shravanam is this. At the time of listening itself, the experience happens. To give a compromising example for this, if you are a great fan of classical music and you go to listen to some quality classical performing people and you sit there and he starts Marwa or Soni or Shivaranjani or Malakams, any rag. And when the rag is going on, when exactly the sur hits at the right time, right way, that very moment, immediately, kya baat hai? I don't know anything music. So once I went to sit somewhere and they took me rather, and then there was another person sitting next to me. He knew very well probably music. I don't know. So whenever it used to be so wonderful, he used to hit my thigh and say, kya baat hai? I didn't understand why he's hitting me. See? Then again when he hit, that time I kept my hand like this thing. So he gave a kind of a tali. क्या बात है, कुछ नहीं, ठीक है सब. That moment, when it hits him, he has experienced music. Exactly that at the time of listening, the truth is revealed. And it is possible when we are in tune with the same frequency like that of the teacher and ourselves. Even when we use our various electronic machines, we have to tune them. If I got a Bluetooth mouse, I have to tune with that particular machine. Then only it will work. Exactly the same way, Shravanam must give us the knowledge at the time of listening. Then you have to write nothing, you have to understand nothing. It has to simply hit us. Now, hereafter, the teacher is giving in coming almost 9 shlokas, the various Upanishads and Shruti Smriti Granthas, wherein the authority of the scriptures is quoted as the final authority, which is to be taken as the ultimate source of knowledge. If we don't accept this, we should not listen to the subsequent talks. If we do not follow the Indian Constitution, then we should leave India and go out. In the same manner, if we are studying Vedanta, we have to accept the authority of the Upanishad as the ultimate. If we don't accept, no need to study. Brahma vidapnoti param. Oh, I'm still chanting the original mantra from Taittiriya Upanishad. Brahma vid param apnoti shokam tarati jatmavid raso brahma rasam labdva anandi bhavati nanyatha. Brahma vidapnoti param tadeshabhyukta satyam jnanamanantam brahma yo vedanihitam guhayam parame vyomannaso shnute sarvan kaman saha brahmana vipashyateti. That was the mantra. So, Brahmavid paramapnoti, this is from the Taittiriya Upanishad. Shokam tarati atmavid, this is from the Chandogya Upanishad. So, it is said that the Brahmavid apnoti param. Here one important thing we have to understand. The knower of the Brahman attains the Brahmananda. Meaning what? When, be very attentive, when knowing and being is established as one, that experience is Brahmananda. See? Knowing and being is one, that experience is Brahmananda. Now try to apply it day to day life. Suppose you like a particular dish, Alfonso mango, you like it, and they come to you. And when they come to you, Alfonso mango is an object, and you like it. Simply looking at them will not give you happiness. Then they should be properly ripened and then washed properly, and then you cut it neatly. And when the mango, the object, and the tongue where it is tasted, the subject, when these two, subject, object, existence and knowledge, being and knowing, when they unite, then we have the happiness. Very nice. But this is coming in a particular condition. If that object I want and it is not there, then I will not be happy. But Brahmananda is not like that. It is not happiness which is sought from the worldly things and beings, but it is a happiness which is discovered by dissolving the duality and relativity and coming to the absolute being. That is Brahmananda. Therefore, who will get this Brahmavid? See, in Mundakoparishad it comes, Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. Meaning what? The knower of the Brahman cannot remain apart from the Brahman. See? And therefore, knowing is being. So, Brahmavidapnot, Paramapnoti. So, the knower of the Brahman alone attains the Brahmananda. Now, here another important principle. The principle is, all the gain is always through knowledge. It's a very important principle. See, I tell you, there was one medicine which I had to go and buy. And still I have got one stripper also. And then I was searching for something somewhere, and there I was so thrilled and happy. That particular medicine which I was wanting to buy, a big packet of that was kept there in a proper way. I don't know how it has gone there. And when I got that, aha, I'm so happy. So when I want something, and if I get that thing, then I am happy. Be attentive. When I don't want anything, then I'll be naturally happy. So we know only one type of happiness. Our happiness is only when desires are fulfilled, we discover happiness. See? But there is happiness, Brahmananda, which is not the result of any action, which is not the result of fulfillment of any desire, which is not the result of any efforts put physically or mentally, karma or upasana. Brahmananda is our essential nature. We don't have to seek, we have to discover. Therefore, Brahmavid Paramapnoti. Now, if this Brahmananda we have discovered as our essential nature, then what will happen? Shokam tarati cha atmavid. Then a Mahatma who has discovered the Brahmananda Atmavid as his own essential nature, then Shokam tarati, he can never be miserable, although miseries may visit him frequently. See? How simple is the practice of knowledge? We should not have the wrong understanding. When Bhagwan Ramana Maharshi was so great, when Bhagwan Ramakrishna Paramahansa was so great, how come they had this disease toward the fag end of their life? See? This is a wrong understanding. Experiences come and go, but the experiencer is born by our choice. Great masters are free to exercise their choice. Therefore, shokam tarati atmavit. So when the shoka, the miseries come, they go beyond the shoka. Means what? They go through the miseries without becoming miserable. See? Like if we have to cross the river, we take a boat and cross the river. So we are not worried about the river and the water flow and it will sink or no, the boat is taking us. In the same manner, the wise man, he may go through the difficulties and problems of life, but he will never become miserable. Raso Brahma, Rasam Labdha. Now this Brahma is what? Raso Brahma. Rasam is what? See, these examples I also given. Many of my very, very special Gujarati friends must be angry with me. But anyway, if I don't make fun with them, with whom will I make? So, during summer, now this time, they must be all suffering. I don't know whether mangoes have come in the market or not. So, in Gujarat, they have got a special dish, amras. And for that amras, they make chapati also, very funny kind of chapati. One above other they keep, and when it is cooked, they separate it and they give it. Wahan bhi kanjus. And then, what is that amras? Amras is that pulp of the mango which is taken out pathetically. That is why I never liked that amras. And again, Swamiji, why don't you take amras? I said, amras is for Aam Admi ka party, Aam party ka admi. I am a khas. So what is amras? Where other than the ras, there is no seed. This is the meaning. Raso Brahma. See? So Brahmananda is a causeless, a seedless happiness. Raso Brahma. See, my friends, there is no seed, there is no cause. But we are so much accustomed to this. That if somebody is happy, Gupta ji is happy. And we are surprised. Are Gupta ji, what happened? Today you are so happy? Because normally he is miserable, but today he is happy. Therefore, the meaning is Raso Brahma, this causeless bliss. Raso Brahma, then Rasam Labdha. And when we are established in this Rasa, Brahma Rasa, then Rasam Labdha, Anandi Bhavati, he merges in the infinite. Not for a time being, but permanently. That doesn't mean he dies, no. If Brahmananda or experience of the infinite leads to death, nobody would have been able to write anything about the experience. See? Therefore, Labdha Anandi Bhavati na anyatha, and there is no other way. See? Therefore, Shruti Mata tells us very clearly that the ultimate attainment in our life is to recognize our causeless, blissful, eternal, uncreated bliss. That is the purpose. Now, this was from two Upanishads. Now, there are many more quotations and they are all essential to know. And then we will enter the subject matter from the different angles. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरिः ॐ. श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. हरिः ॐ.